So, Coach, in terms of the players you coach, who are a couple, two or three of the players that really stand out in your mind for their leadership abilities? And like, what was it about the particular players that you have in mind that made them such good leaders?
I went into every home that I recruited, and I tell the parents, I wanted to see a young man in his home. I want to see how he reacted, interacted with his parents, or, had one parent. I want to see how he reacted to that one parent. And I tell them, I got three things that are important to me. Number one, I want your son to be a good person. And if I didn't think he was a good person, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And I promise you, I'll do everything I can to keep him going the same direction you have him going. Number two, I want him to recognize how important getting an education is. I'm not saying he has to really like school, but he has to understand that getting a degree is important.
Yeah.
And that way we can eliminate a whole lot of conflict, because I don't expect that he goes to class and does his work and does all that. And number three, and I promise it's in that order, I want him burning up with being really good. And I promise you I'll keep it like that. So I had to face a deal at one point there towards the end. We had a deal where on the week of the OU game, I had about 9 guys had a study session, a departmental session there. They came and said, "Coach, we got this thing. It starts at, and I said, "What time is it?" Well, it was not even halfway through practice. I said, "Well, I told all you guys," and to me that was a test, going back to some of the earlier things that you asked about. It was a test for me. I'd gone in those homes, told their families, I would always put academics number one.
Yeah.
And the kids have heard me say that.
Yeah.
So now they're coming to me and said, "Coach, we got this thing we really need to go to. This is going to be a hard test." So do you keep them there to practice football, or you say, "No, I told you that I would put academics first. You guys come and get whatever you can get, and then hustle over there and get what you get." So I think those kinds of things. I had another example, goes into your leadership thing, I think. I had a young man came in to our summer camp, a receiver from Katy, and came in, and then we liked him a lot as a receiver. So his dad came on the day to pick him up. So they called me aside and they said, "Coach, he wants to commit to A&M." I said, "Oh, that's great. That's great. We'd love to have him, but you got to understand what commitment means to me." And I don't want to get to say it. Commitment means I'm committing you one of my scholarships.
Yep.
And you're giving me your word that I can count on you. I don't need to keep looking at other people. You're saying, "I'm going to be here, Coach. I'll take your scholarship. I'll be here." So we got a deal. I said, "I want to shake your hand. We got it right here in front of your dad. We got a deal." So anyway, fast forward through the summer. First game of the year, Saturday morning, the dad calls me. He said, "Did you hear what happened last night?" I said, "No, man, I didn't. We were busy getting ready at the game that day." Well, he told me his son, he said he tore his knee up last night. He's out for the season. He said, "I just want to know how that affects the situation at A&M." I said, "It doesn't affect it a bit. I gave you my word that your son had a scholarship. Go get your son healthy, get him well, and we'll stay in touch. We'll see you this fall, but don't worry one second about that." So to show you how it works, if you practice integrity, the superintendent of schools in Katy, I can't tell you his name, but that summer he spoke at the convention of the Texas School Superintendents Convention. So he got up and told that story about having integrity and about keeping your word. So now, if you do the right thing, it just might. I got every school superintendent in Texas heard the story about how Coach Slocum is a man of integrity. You can trust him. It's in all. The young man came back, and he was never really the caliber player that he probably would have been had he not been injured, but he came back, got his degree. So I just think you get put in position sometime in leadership where you have to say, am I going to look for a short-term? Without a doubt that day, it would have been better for me to say, "Well, we made that deal based on your son being healthy, and now he's not healthy, and I'm going to go get someone else." That would have been a short term, probably better thing for us to do. But in the big picture, we did the right thing.
Yeah.
Because the word spread and we were able to, you just, I wouldn't do it. I'd do it exactly the same way. Knowing the outcome, I'd do it exactly the same way again.
And I'll bet you that.
Right,
I'll bet you that. Yeah.
Right. That makes it easy.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. And I'll bet you that young man today will act the same way when he gives his word to somebody that you acted when you gave your word to him.